Once upon a time, in a sunny meadow filled with wild flowers and tall grass, there lived a hare who was very, very fast. He had long, powerful legs and could run like the wind. He was so proud of his speed that he loved to brag about it to all the other animals. "I'm the fastest creature in the whole meadow," the hare would say, hopping around in circles. "No one can beat me in a race. I'm swift as lightning." Now, also in this meadow lived a tortoise. The tortoise was very different from the hare. He had a heavy shell on his back and short little legs. He moved very, very slowly, one careful step at a time. But the tortoise was patient and kind, and he never complained about being slow. One bright morning, the hare was showing off as usual, racing in circles around the other animals. "Look at me go!" he cried. "I'm so fast that I could run to the old oak tree and back before any of you even got started." The tortoise, who was quietly munching on some clover nearby, looked up and said, in his calm, gentle voice, "Speed isn't everything, friend hare." The hare stopped running and stared at the tortoise. Then he threw back his head and laughed. "That's easy for you to say when you're the slowest animal in the meadow. Why, I could beat you in a race without even trying." "Perhaps," said the tortoise thoughtfully. "But would you like to find out? I challenge you to a race." All the animals gasped. A race between the hare and the tortoise? It seemed impossible that the tortoise could win. The hare laughed even harder. "You want to race me? This will be the easiest race I've ever won." "Very well, I accept your challenge." The wise old owl, who was watching from a branch above, agreed to be the judge. "The race will be from here to the big oak tree on the hill and back again," he announced. "Tomorrow at sunrise." That night, the tortoise went to bed early to rest, but the hare stayed up late, boasting to his friends about how easily he would win. The next morning, all the animals gathered at the starting line. The sun was just peeking over the hills, painting the sky pink and gold. "On your marks," hooted the owl. "Get set, go!" The hare shot forward like an arrow, his legs moving so fast they were just a blur. In seconds, he was far ahead. The tortoise simply began to walk, one slow, steady step after another. The hare was so far ahead that when he looked back, he could barely see the tortoise. "This is too easy," he laughed. "That silly tortoise is so far behind, I have plenty of time to rest." He spotted a shady spot under a tree. "I'll just take a little nap," he said to himself. "Even if I sleep for an hour, I'll still wake up and win the race easily." And with that, he curled up in the soft grass and closed his eyes. Meanwhile, the tortoise kept walking, step by step, step by step. His legs were short and his shell was heavy, but he didn't stop. He didn't rush. He just kept moving forward at his own steady pace. "One step at a time," he said to himself, "slow and steady. Just keep going." He passed the sleeping hare without making a sound. The hare was snoring softly, dreaming of his victory. The tortoise kept walking. Up the hill he went, though it was difficult. past the big oak tree, though his legs were tired, and then back down the hill toward the finish line. The sun climbed higher in the sky. The other animals started to cheer. Their voices woke the hare from his nap. What? What's that noise? The hare yawned and stretched. Then his eyes went wide. Oh no, how long was I asleep? He looked toward the finish line and saw something that made his heart sink. There was the tortoise, just a few steps away from winning the race. The animals were all cheering for him. No, 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 cried the hare. He jumped up and began to run as fast as he could. His legs moved like lightning. He ran faster than he'd ever run before. But it was too late. Just as the hare reached the meadow, the tortoise crossed the finish line. The animals erupted in cheers. "The tortoise wins," declared the owl. "Well done." The hare stopped, panting and exhausted. He couldn't believe it. He had lost to the tortoise. The tortoise smiled gently at the hare. "You are much faster than I am, friend hare, but I kept going while you stopped. Sometimes being steady and determined is more important than being fast." The hare's ears drooped, and he felt ashamed. "You're right. I was so confident that I would win that I didn't try my best. I'm sorry I bragged so much and laughed at you. You taught me an important lesson today." The tortoise reached out his small foot. "Shall we be friends?" The hare smiled and shook the tortoise's foot. "I'd like that very much." From that day on, the hare and the tortoise were the best of friends. The hare never bragged about his speed again, and whenever he started a task, he made sure to finish it. And sometimes, when the tortoise needed to get somewhere far away, the hare would offer him a ride on his back. The tortoise had taught all the animals in the meadow an important lesson. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not about how fast you start, but about keeping going until you finish. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Sleep well, little one. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're fast or slow. What matters is that you keep trying and never give up.